Were you, or were you not, on a gay cruise?
No, you're 120% dick face.
Everybody that age, they're sperminator.
Yeah.
We don't care about anything else. We're walking hard on looking for a hole.
That's. I have to say you're right on that one. Oh my God.
A stiff breeze comes through the room and you return the favor.
Got her in. Oh. Somewhere on the outside of this building, there is a hole where squirrels come in.
Better than a hole where dicks come in.
Yeah, better than that.
Going down the stairs to wash the laundry. What the hell? Shh. Pizza. Stop! Stop it now! I order you to stop! I'm still touching myself.
Yeah!
All young bitches want to do is pop pills, smoke weed, get drunk, lay around, suck dick, eat hot Cheetos, charge they phone, get a sew and weave, twerk, be bisexual, eat McDonald's, wash they pussy in the sink, lie, take selfies, and talk shit through Wi-Fi because they phone never on.
I think washing they pussy in the sink is my favorite part. The Vietnamese trade in dongs. Figuratively and literally, I'm sure.
Oh my God, that's hilarious.
I did decide to look it up. 500,000 dongs is a good night for Pop's ex.
Like most women, he's an emotional thinker.
Good God.
I mean, that's part of the problem we're having now in our society is we have a bunch of emotional thinkers that want the world to, to fall in line with their emotions. That's not... look, reality doesn't give a shit about emotions.
It's my lived truth. Fuck your lived truth.
No, it's not. It's your perspective.
Kiss my ass.
Literally like, hey, Sergeant Pop, you got to turn your bear suit. I'm like, over my dead body. No. Just give me a statement of charges. Yeah. You're never getting this back. Yeah. You can suck it.
I'm going to wear this with my Russian coat.
you will bury me in this. Hey! Why you gotta fucking be like that, man?
Because I'm an asshole, and I learned from the best. I'm sitting across from him, and I'm pointing at you with all four fingers.
All right, first of all, the Russian jacket is World War II surplus.
I'll send you a picture of it, Sarge.
Yeah, okay. I
got you standing wearing it with holding two giant buckets like you just collected all the chum from behind the dump dumpster at the bar and you're going to go home and make ice cream out of it.
All right, everybody, how you doing? Terrence Pop here with another episode that actually is live from the lair. And today, in current year, we are seeing the sides get divvied up. We're watching the left and the political cronies up there who don't want to lose power abuse the system against the citizens. Now, little did you know that this is not a new phenomena. In fact, we have a family that, used to be in the presidency, whose wife later became a senator and what have you. with quite an extensive list of deaths attached to their names. And we're going to go through this list and basically shed some light on this, mainly to scare the fuck out of you, number one. Number two, it is mathematically impossible for people to experience the amount of death and the amount of different ways that these people died in one's lifetime. And it doesn't matter that they used to be the president or a senator, because when you look at the math and numbers, it's virtually impossible. Now, I'm not going to tell you it's completely impossible, but let's just be honest. The numbers are so out of range. You're literally competing with the stats that will basically allow for the spontaneous eruption of life to come from nothing. All right. Now, you've heard all the conspiracy theories about the Clinton death list and all of the shit that's going on here. All right. And I'm just going to be honest. I'm not going to kill myself. I don't want anyone out here to kill themselves. But if something like that should happen, maybe I got put to the sword. I'm just saying. And it is what it is. And we're going to keep an eye on YouTube to see if they're going to throttle our stream again, like they did last week. Because last week we were covering another sensitive subject, and they throttled our stream. And then I'm the one who actually, yanked it off YouTube because I just don't need the headaches. And that's just the way it is. All right, now Blake's not here. We got Battle Dwarf in the house, and we got Jimmy, the
What's going on?
button pushing bone monkey.
Yep. And just to get it out of the way now, because I'm sure that there's going to be many requests for it, let's just go ahead and rip that Band-Aid off.
You rat bastard.
I was not ready for that at all. Like, as my wife would say, Jimmy, punch yourself in the nuts.
I will put that on my to-do list.
All right. All right, let's spin this up, man.
Oh my God. What are you drinking there, Pop?
I got my herbal tea.
That's so dainty of you.
Stop.
That's dainty.
Don't be like that.
That's outstanding. Oh my God. Well, this woman's been crawling around for a long time, and we all know exactly who Madam H is. But that's a strange view. I don't like that view. That view's better. Trump legal team skeptical about the impartiality of juror number 6. This is a photograph of the actual jury from the Trump trial. Of course not. This is Babylon B. But these articles were good enough that I didn't want to pass them up here. As jury selection continued in his upcoming criminal trial, former President Donald Trump's legal team struggled to weed through the available jurors and voiced skepticism about the impartiality of juror number 6. Though they were unable to put their fingers on it, Trump's lawyers said there was something about juror 6 that seemed off. I can swear I've seen her somewhere before. Her name is listed as Jill Sherry Clinton, but she just seems to be very familiar for some reason. The funny part about this is actually reasonably plausible in like a substitute type of sense. I could see Hillary trying to get somebody on the actual jury.
Yeah.
If not by the whole jury itself.
Well, first of all, we all know how women are, right?
No.
And this particular woman was in the second seat of this country for 8 years?
Yeah.
Later, she was a Secretary of State who had a sitting senator killed on her watch after being raped. And I get that information from actual publications from the Middle East from the very next day. And that wasn't put out in any of our media here in the West. I wonder why that is. Maybe it's because
I've heard these stories. This is interesting. I did not know this.
Yeah.
What's this now?
The senator or the ambassador, there are reports out there.
Chris Stevens.
Yeah. When
Benghazi.
that he was actually killed and raped.
If I could get into an AFRICOM skiff, I could absolutely prove to you that not only Hillary, but her entire staff knew about that incident, because guess what? an embassy being hit like that is a Criticom level report.
Correct.
That's all the way to the top. Everybody hears about it. You've got literally 3 minutes to write that and put it out there.
Uh-huh.
And it'd be a one-liner.
And actually,
Benghazi embassy hit.
Rumor.
Send it.
He's been on the show a few times.
Yeah.
He was in the skiff when he was in the Air Force that was running all of the Mediterranean air ops. He was there while it was all going on. He was looking at the drone footage, satellite footage. There were some individuals on secure comms nearby reporting in.
There are a couple of higher level skiffs in that area that I actually can't go into.
Yeah.
I worked for one of them at one point in time. That definitely would have had that information there. There's no question of what happened, and I could prove it in a heartbeat if I can get into those skiffs.
Unfortunately, you and I both know that's not going to happen.
Never going to get into a skiff ever again in our lives.
We're good. And you know what? I'm kind of good with it. I don't want to see what's behind the curtain anymore.
That's fair.
For 33 years, I got to see behind the curtain, and I didn't like the view.
That's fair.
Don't want to go back.
There was one skiff over in Asia where the waiting room was deliberately designed to look like a dentist's office waiting room.
Oh,
it was very creepy.
They did that on purpose.
Yeah, with the door that's like this thick that would open up. You have somebody in the waiting room and they bring him in and turn all the red lights on and red badges. Cover it up, everyone. And the door. And here's this guy sitting in a dentist waiting room going.
It's like the Death Star or something.
It was great.
All right, but first of all, I mean, one of the reasons that we're covering this mainly to scare the shit out of you. Number two, that the powers that be that have led to this list actually happening are still there. And if you think this behavior is going to go away anytime soon, you're out of your goddamn mind.
This kind of behavior is nothing new either. I bring up history all the time. There was a queen of Libya by the name of Lamia, who was this sort of a person. Cleopatra was reputed to be this sort of a person.
Correct.
There's a whole host of them.
But this is the United States of America. That's not supposed to happen here.
But what I'm getting at is this has been going on
for
a very, very long time.
Well, evil has been around for forever.
We're discussing a certain type of evil, though.
Yes.
A particular form of evil.
Yes, I understand the form of evil you're talking about.
So Hillary Clinton condemns Trump for paying hush money to political liabilities instead of just killing them. The beauty of this Babylon Bee article is that it's a joke and then it's not.
Nope.
Former U.S. Senator and email expert Hillary Clinton issued a statement this week condemning Don Trump for allegedly paying hush money to political liabilities instead of just killing them. How dumb do you have to be? Clinton told reporters. There's an easy, tried and true method for dealing with people who make your life hard. Just call my friend Guido and he'll take care of it for you. Or if you're feeling for an adventure, a DIY. It is just amazing that this woman is real and that these things are actually going on. It's a conspiracy theory. Hey, YouTube, this is all conjecture, okay, baby?
Correct.
This is conjecture. We're going off of an internet meme, and this is one of those urban legend myth fantasy choose your own adventure stories.
On one of our backup channels, we got a warning strike for the COVID stuff, and we were talking about an actual study. They said it was medical misinformation, so...
An actual study.
Yeah.
So,
they could do anything. We don't even know what the rules are anymore.
Just ask clowns. It's blue-haired ass clowns running all that. That's probably going to get our YouTube channel shut down right there. Sorry about that.
Ask clownies.
Yeah.
I got to write that down. That's actually funny. New language.
Oh, God. So, on top of the Babylon Bee article, Hillary Clinton actually suggested what Trump really wants is to kill his opposition. Now, we know from experience that whenever the left says something about their opposition, they're typically the ones doing it. So
yes,
this is a little damning on the part of Hillary that she would come right out and say during a podcast released on Friday that she believes former President Donald Trump wants to model himself after dictators like Russian President Vladimir Putin. Trump beat Clinton to become president during the 2016 election, and she has had it in for him ever since. She has allegedly has connections to Russia. I'm going to say something here. Look, World War II, horrible war, and all of this. One thing is true, though. The propaganda machine really went to town on Adolf Hitler. They did.
Yes.
Okay, that is undeniable. Now, I can go back through the news articles recently and show you the exact same pattern being used against Putin.
Yeah.
The exact same
Yeah.
pattern.
Because guess what? I mean, it's all propaganda.
Mhm.
And it's, listen, I never went to the formal PSYOP school. I'm just cross-trained in it.
I went through a big chunk of it.
Yes. I worked with the PSYOP guys because Civil Affairs works with those guys really close. And I saw how they work.
Yeah.
I read all their manuals.
Yep.
And literally, it's the same playbook, that just the words change. But the tactics and the maneuvering is all the same.
Yeah. This isn't a judgment of any individual and his or her deeds. This is pointing out the propaganda directed at a target when they really want to demonize somebody.
Mm-hmm.
So
You are
anyway,
correct.
Trump beat Clinton to become president. Clinton on the Democracy Docket podcast accused Trump of modeling himself after President Putin and other global dictators. We've never had a global dictator. That's interesting that she would say global dictator.
Yeah, that is weird.
Suggesting her former opponent wants to commit heinous acts against those who oppose him. Like what? Putting people in concentration camps and starving out an entire population of 60 million in Russia in 1917?
Yeah, no.
Putin does what Trump would like to do, Clinton told election lawyer Mark Elias. What, ride bare-shirted with no shirt and eat caviar?
Well, first of all, let's just be honest here.
Putin does assassinate journalists. That is true.
Yeah, he's a killing fool. And I don't agree with anything that man does. What I'm trying to say is this. If you think the left doesn't want to do the same thing, you're out of your fucking mind. Why do you think they want to take away all the guns?
Yes.
And why don't you look at throughout history and see what happens to every country shortly after it being disarmed? Hell, even Canada is, for the most part, disarmed, and they're going full communist. In fact, one of the top 5 ways you can die in that country is assisted suicide.
Yeah.
Remember the whole death panel talk, and that would never be possible?
There will never be.
Well, they're doing that shit now.
Yeah.
And guess what? In China, they're doing that wholesale. They're rounding people up, putting them in concentration camps, selling their goddamn internal organs for profit, raping whole cultures out of existence.
Yes.
And, committing genocide in my opinion, on factory level.
That's absolutely true. Everybody thinks of the Uyghurs when you say that.
Yes.
About China. Tibet, it's been going on for 50 years.
Correct.
They have been beating the Tibetanness out of the Tibetans for over 50 years. The Dalai Lama can't even cross over from India to Tibet for fear of being thrown into Chinese concentration.
And he would die.
He would die badly. So we have to be very cautious of how Trump sees the world, because in that world, he only sees strongman leaders. He sees Putin. He sees Xi. He sees Kim Jong-un in North Korea.
Well, listen.
Kim Jong-un's a fat little toad of a dude.
Yeah, fuck that guy. But the thing is to take care of a lot of the corruption we have going on. It's probably going to require some draconian. What is it? Draconian, level event. Something like Night of the Brown Shirts or something. That's how bad this is getting.
It's getting ugly.
Well, I mean, let's face it. That all of our schools have been infiltrated all the way down to kindergarten.
Yes, that is
Okay?
absolutely correct.
Our elections have been digitized to the point where it could easily be screwed with, and you could just push a button and delete the evidence. We have states that have destroyed ballots that you're supposed to keep for 10 years from the 2020 installation.
I have enough material just
Yes.
on Michigan to do an entire show.
Yeah.
On that in Michigan.
And we can cover that in the future.
Yeah.
And now we have people getting elected who are getting paid anywhere from $200,000 to $400,000 a year, spending 4 to 12 years and coming out multimillionaires.
Yes.
There's all kinds of insider trading, gifts, all kinds of crazy stuff that we don't even know about. And do you really think it's that much of a stretch that the people up there want to maintain that system of living and that lifestyle, and they're willing to do it by picking up a phone and giving a name, and that next thing you know, that person dies of a heart attack, suicide, plane crash, flat out just, killed, stabbed, what you name it. It's happening.
Yeah, look, the reason they pay all of these politicians the money that they do and give them the kickbacks that they do is to put them on a leash. There's a lot of ways to put people on a leash. Some respond to threats to their family. Some respond to money. It's a combination for others. Some they're some sort of sick cake freak.
You got to catch them in the pecker wrecker situation.
Yeah.
Epstein Island. Where's the list?
Yeah. Violating the halls of Congress.
Oh, yeah.
Butt sexathons.
Yeah. I forgot about the butt sexathon in the White House.
Yeah.
Holy crap.
The congressional building.
In the Capitol.
It's probably happened in the White House too. Let's just straight up be honest at this point in time.
Yes.
At any rate, Hillary is literally suggesting that Trump wants to do all the fun stuff that she did. Let's go over the Clinton body count conspiracy theory real quick. The Clinton body count is a conspiracy theory centered around the belief that former U.S. President Bill Clinton and his wife have secretly had their political opponents murdered, often made to look like suicides, totaling as many as 50 or
71
more listed
71.
The congressional record, 1994, stated that the compiler of the original list, Linda Thompson, admitted she had no direct evidence of Clinton killing anybody.
Miss Linda Thompson, I'm going to need you to shut up or you're going to end up with suicide to the back of the head.
Indeed, she says the deaths were probably caused by people trying to control the presidents but refused to say who they were. Such allegations have been circulated since at least 1994 when a film called The Clinton Chronicles, produced by Larry Nichols and promoted by Reverend Jerry Falwell, they love to throw that name out there, oh my Lord, here we go, accused Bill Clinton of multiple crimes, including murder. Additional promulgators of the conspiracy include Newsmax CEO Christopher Ruddy, former U.S. President Donald Trump, and U.S. Representative Marjorie Taylor Greene, who is their new favorite evil supervillain, even though she's a useless, ineffectual little toad.
Yes, she's a toady.
Several sources have discredited the conspiracy theory, such as the Congressional Record, the Lakeland Ledger, the Chicago Tribune, Snopes. Oops, there goes that discrediting.
Well, here's the thing. All right. How the hell are you actually going to find evidence that they're linked to this? It's not going to happen. They're not stupid. But I just find it very suspicious. We're going to go through this list. We're going to tell you what dirt they had and how they died.
Yeah.
Because when you look at that, it's statistically virtually impossible without it being caused intentionally.
Pop, how impossible is it?
All right. For you to die in a plane crash, the odds are 1 in 816,545,929. And that's before the diversity hires put on all the broken parts.
This statistic is from before the Boeing stuff.
Yes.
This is 2015 to 2020, okay?
Yeah.
I'll read that number back to you for the slow listeners out there. 1 in 816,545,929. That's close enough to 1 in a billion.
And
really,
this
the
is from flyfright.com.
Yeah. Those are the chances of the plane crashing and your odds of dying in a plane crash based on data from the Bureau of Transportation Statistics and National Transportation Safety between 2015 and 2020.
So for you to know somebody that died in a plane crash,
unless you're one of us, we know people that happened to.
We're talking civilian plane crashes.
Right.
I mean, that's an extremely rare event, at least the current year, and I hope it stays rare because I fly from time to time, and
I don't fly anymore.
I don't really want to try to save my life by hiding behind a bunch of corpse cushions in a plane crash. No, good.
There was, and this is a true story, a Serbian stewardess who was on a plane. They were at 33,000 feet. A briefcase bomb went off. This was in the 70s or 80s.
Yeah.
She fell 33,000 feet and survived.
Impressive.
Only person ever known to have done that. and she walked with a limp for the rest of her life, but she actually recovered.
Yeah.
And lived till 1996, I think it was.
Not good for her.
Yeah. Let's not do that, though.
No.
I'm not a fan.
No, because chances are you're not going to win that argument with physics.
No.
Just saying.
I wonder what song was going through her head when she was falling. Is it a free falling?
Could be.
Ground control to me. I'll stop now.
But look at they got the suicides 1 in 91, major vehicle crash 1 in 93. I mean, the odds are here.
Yeah, let's take a look at the odds real quick. Lifetime odds of dying for selected injury causes, United States 2015 to 2021. So some of these are bullshit here. Your odds of dying by gun, 1 in 89. I live in Detroit.
Yeah.
Well, I work in Detroit now, but I used to live in Detroit. I grew up in Detroit. Pop grew up in Detroit.
Yeah.
It's not 1 in 89.
No.
That's not a thing. Falls, 1 in 98. I could actually believe that, especially if you're younger or older. I know quite a few people who have at least injured themselves badly. In falls.
I know quite a few guys.
Yeah.
Gun assault, 1 in 208.
That seems incorrect to me.
All right. So if it's 1 in 89 for all guns, all intents, how can you have gun assault being 1 in 208? I'm just trying to wrap my head around the math.
Right.
I'm not seeing a correlation
there. Yeah. This looks like bad math to me, but the point we're trying to make here is the odds of dying by various things are pretty effing blinding small. Motor vehicle crash, 1 in 93. Opioid drugs, I could see that being accurate.
If you
do opioid drugs, you've got a 1 in 58 chance of popping your cap.
Yeah.
That I have no problem believing it at all. Bicycle, accidental gun discharge, NDs are bad. Cataclysmic storm,
sharp
objects, 1 in 25,000. Hornet, wasp, and bee sting. See, 1 in 54,516 for a plane crash. It's 1.8.
1 in 816 million.
1 in 816 million. Yeah.
816 million.
Earthquake or other earth movements. 1 in 99,000 roughly.
Wow.
Dog attacks, 1 in 53,000. So that's quite the frickin' list of things.
I would like to get my hands on the mortuary tables that the insurance companies use because they have all the odds and percentages figured out. That's how they make their money.
It is.
When you do a life insurance, you're literally putting insurance down on the blackjack table just in case you get a fucked up hand and you die.
They're ruthless about paying out as well.
Yes.
I deal with that day in and day out.
Yes.
So this is arguably the most well-known of the incidents in which Hillary Clinton was never involved.
Correct. Never involved. Yeah.
This is the inside the tragic death of Vince Foster and the conspiracy theories that followed. Vince Foster was a former deputy White House counsel. He died by suicide just 6 months into the Clinton administration on July 20th, 1993, but not everybody believes that he killed himself. When Vince Foster was found dead by gunshot in 93, the national press was ravenous. He wasn't just any political player, after all. He was a childhood friend of Bill Clinton, and when he shot himself in the head, he was handling early Clinton administration scandals that involved the FBI. Did you happen to write down how many of those were shot to the head suicides?
I did not, but most of the suicides were from gunshot to the head.
And alarmingly, many of these suicides by gunshot to the heads were to the back of the head.
Several of them were to the back of the head, and
I
a couple
can't
of them
figure
were
out
multiple shots.
We can't even use the blue gun because of YouTube.
No, we can't.
That's gay. YouTube, it's a plastic training toy.
I know.
I'm just saying. Anyway, I can't think of a decent way to get. And why would you blow your own face off, by the way?
I don't know.
Most people won't do that.
And some of them had multiple gunshots, and they're still saying it's a suicide.
Correct. Yeah.
I have seen dudes or human beings take shots to the gray matter and the central nervous system. And you get hit one time, it's like you watch a light switch go off and they literally just turn off and
ragdoll.
They ragdoll out.
Boop. It's not like in the movies where they roll around on the ground.
Yeah, and it's like
no, you're just
the center line,
yeah.
The center line here to about right here. And anywhere 3 or 4 inches off the center line, it's a guaranteed kill.
Yeah.
And if you hit on that center line, you just shut down and that's it.
I saw that once or twice.
And when I worked sniper work, we were shoot to, there's a little window right here.
The T.
You hit this, non-reflex kill, meaning they instantly shut off, turn into a ragdoll.
Yeah.
They're done.
Yeah, that's it.
There's no way you're gonna crack off 2 or 3 rounds since you're thinking meat. It's just not gonna happen unless it's automatic fire, and you just pull the trigger and shit happens. That didn't happen in any of these instances. We're gonna go through them, and you're gonna see how terrifying this is.
So, Travelgate became the administration's first public ethics scandal when 7 people in the White House travel office were fired for receiving illegal kickbacks from the press corps. Say it ain't so.
No.
Those people were probably fired because they were sloppy, got caught, and or did something to displease the Clintons. It ballooned when the FBI got involved and rumors spread that the Clintons planned to replace travel office employees with their friends. That's odd. Why would somebody do that?
Yeah, who knew?
When he died, Foster was also confronting the Whitewater scandal, which accused the Clintons of real estate fraud. Independent counsel Kenneth Starr took over the investigation to all these scandals, including Foster's death, and his report has left conspiracy theorists with plenty to work with. On the Whitewater scandal, the documents for that were in the federal building in Oklahoma that McVeigh blew up.
How convenient.
Here's the thing. After having watched the Whitmer snatch debacle, nobody wants to watch Whitmer. Don't make me say that again. We know that the FBI steers these guys into doing these things. So my theory on McVeigh has revised slightly. He was a nut and he was going to do this, but what happened was the FBI picked his target for him.
You're saying that an alphabet agency steered him possibly into...
Theoretically, hypothetically.
Well,
in a strange world.
There are a lot of coincidences with it. I believe we covered this in a show.
I think we did.
Yeah, about how on that day a bunch of people, it's just like 9/11, on that day a bunch of people weren't in the building. It's
my
bizarre.
revised theory is McVeigh was already a loony who was looking to blow something up and the FBI chose his target.
Could be.
That's my current working revised theory.
All right. Now, but here's the thing though, is the alphabet agencies, for at least from what I know, do not have psychics. I mean,
I never encountered anything like that, and I was pretty far down the rabbit hole.
Well, they got rid of the Stargate program, so who knows? But my thing is this: it's pretty goddamn scary when you look at the amount of people who are in the wake of this family, and how everyone just looked the other fucking way for decades.
It looks like a lot of people look the other way for fear of winding up on a park bench.
I know, but
or a hotel bathroom floor.
You have to. This is unacceptable. This needs to get looked into.
So Starr took over the investigation into all these scandals, including Foster's death, and his report had left conspiracy theorists with plenty to work with. Ultimately, questions circulated around Foster's death from the beginning, namely whether overwhelming political pressure took a tragic toll, or some believe that Vince Foster simply knew too much. I worked like really hard this weekend, so my body is still worn out.
I understand. Don't worry about it.
I'm having jaw motor problems.
Internal monologue coming out?
No.
All
right. We don't care where he was born. Sorry.
I
live with my grandparents in a modest little house across from Vince Foster's nice big white brick house, Clinton recalled, later adding that Foster was kind to me and never lorded it over me in the way that so many older boys did with younger ones. So they knew each other. Foster and the Clintons had a previous, intimate is the wrong relationship, but like
when you know a kid from your young childhood, that's like a brother.
Exactly.
I mean, I have several friends that I've known since they were 6 or 8 years old that are the equivalent of my blood brothers.
I have cousins that I see only like every couple of years or so, but because we were bonded at the hip when we were like 5, we just pick right back up where we were. At Hope High School, Foster headed the student council with Clinton's future staff Chief of Staff Mac McLarty serving as vice president. He graduated with bachelor in psychology in 1967 before enrolling at the Arkansas School of Law. That's a lot of people coming out of Arkansas in the power circle.
Yeah, I didn't expect that.
Foster excelled as an Arkansas attorney. Bill Clinton became the state attorney general and served 2 terms as the governor. That's when the whole Whitewater thing happened. It was Foster who hired Hillary Clinton as the first female associate at Rose Law Firm. Bill Clinton made him deputy White House counsel upon being elected. There's a lot of going on here.
Yep.
There was trouble early on in the administration. The Whitewater scandal about a series of real estate investments with the Clintons made while Bill was governor of Arkansas followed the Clintons from the campaign trail to the White House. This goes on and on.
We're not going to read the whole thing.
I am not going to read that. Let's get to how did Vince Foster die? In the 6 short months following Clinton's assuming office, Foster's failures had riddled him with stress and guilt, usually demure, which is like nice and gentle fellow. He shouted at his boss and broke down crying in front of his wife 4 days before he died. He mentioned resigning from his post, describing his work as a grind. In 1993, Foster couldn't sleep and barely ate. He told his sister he was depressed and took her advice about calling a psychiatrist, despite fears that it would jeopardize his security clearance. You go to a shrink when you've got a security clearance, especially one of the high ones.
It's gonna cause problems.
Yeah, you're getting suspended at least.
Minimum.
You're getting suspended at least. When he was met by an answering machine, he got his Arkansas doctor to prescribe him antidepressants. So he did an end run around that. A few days later, July 20th, 1993, he was found dead of a gunshot wound to the head in Fort Marcy Park, Virginia. U.S. Park Police noted that Foster was holding a pistol and his hand was covered in gunshot residue. Guess what, kiddies? That's really not that hard to do if you know what you're doing. The FBI, Justice Department, and independent counsel Robert Fisk investigated Foster's death and agreed with Park Police. Well, Kenneth Starr's 1997 report did too. It included details that have troubled conspiracy theorists ever since. Basically, look, if these guys, that they know what they're doing, they want to make you look like you shot yourself, it's going to look like you shot yourself.
That's right. And here's the bad part. Is there are people on staff who are willing to do this kind of shit.
Yeah.
And that's kind of creepy in my I myself, I can never do this. I can't even lie effectively.
Yeah. I'm no good at that either. Ask my wife.
Yeah.
She'll tell you you're shit at lying.
I'm just not. I mean, it's one thing if you're doing it on a war zone and, they're enemy combatants and they have guns, they're shooting at you. That's one thing.
Totally different creature.
But, going after just straight up civilians because of some bullshit, that's about as evil as you get.
So I have a theory that I'd like to bounce off you because I'm the radio guy.
Okay.
Most guns are registered, especially in places like Virginia and D.C.
Okay.
Fair
enough. Yeah.
Which means that it's on file somewhere, the patterns. If you had the resources, like you're the federal government or an alphabet agency, could you mill a barrel to match that, shoot a guy with it, and then take his gun, put it in his hand, pull the trigger in a random direction, and have it look like he had shot himself because the bullet would match the gun? Theoretically, would that be in the realm?
It's really hard to copy actual ballistic marks on the bullet. It's virtually impossible.
If it was close enough and they could pay the forensic guy.
Well, there's always a way to grease the skids.
Yeah.
There's always a way to grease the skids.
I don't know. Maybe I'm being too elaborate about it.
They
can get them if they want you dead, you're toast.
Well, I mean, the gunshot residue is really easy. You literally take a pistol with the same ammunition that was in this individual's gun. You put a handkerchief over it, squeeze off a mag, let all the residue hit the handkerchief, put it in a plastic bag. You do what you got to do. You take that handkerchief out, you blot it all over his hand, and now he has gunshot residue with the exact same chemical signature of the bullets that are in the gun.
It's crazy.
I'm an evil genius.
It's crazy.
I can't help.
I don't know any of that stuff.
I know.
can-
It scares me that I know this.
Yeah,
I don't know
spent
how
the
I
last
know that.
5 days dinking with radios, but I don't know. How to do
I mean, I write novels about a guy who hunts and kills people. I mean, it's pretty twisted.
there you go.
At least I'm focusing it in a positive direction.
Just don't focus that thing at me, man.
No, I'm done with that shit, man.
Great
I'm
phrasing.
old.
There are numerous claims and details surrounding Foster's death that some believe warrant considerable focus, despite 5 separate investigations concluding the opposite. While Foster's prints were absent from the .38 caliber revolver, found in his hand, for instance, Starr's report explained that this isn't uncommon with guns of that kind, as the coarseness of their handles don't retain fingerprints. Bullshit. It might not retain a clean print, but you're definitely going to have
hang on,
hand oils on it.
and you can do a DNA test off a hand oil. You can. At least back. I don't know if they could do it back then, but in current year, you get a partial.
Yeah.
They can basically take the oil from the fingerprint. They have technology where they could magnify the DNA signature and figure out your DNA. And it takes maybe, I think, anywhere between 7 and 11 days.
Also, your palms have a unique print as well. And every one of those weapons that I've ever seen, and I've seen a few, with the coarse grip, invariably have the smooth section
Yes,
where the piston
it's not all
there,
coarse. Yeah.
and on the back as well. So when
So-
you grab that, you've got palm print here and here,
Uh-huh.
which is easily matched.
And guess what? Basically, we're being fed a big bowl of bullshit.
No, wow.
Yeah.
Some skeptics believe Foster was murdered and dumped in the park. Starr's report explained the carpet fibers on his clothes were consistent with the samples of his home to combat that claim. But Vince Foster wasn't the first Clinton associate to die unexpectedly, nor the last. This is a word that I've always enjoyed. The Arkansas conspiracy theory maintains the list has only grown. The roster includes notable figures like Barry Seal, who trafficked cocaine into Mena, Arkansas when Clinton governed. He was killed apparently by cartel members. I remember that one. Whitewater partner James McDougal died in solitary confinement. Well, that's interesting.
So that's one die in jail.
Yeah, that was the heart attack in jail.
Heart attack. I put him as a heart attack. So
Yeah.
I'll take him off to die in jail.
Most unnerving was the death of Clinton fundraiser Ed Willie. Willie was found dead by gunshot 4 months after Foster in the Virginia woods. He died on the same day that his wife, Kathleen Willie, revealed that Bill Clinton had groped her during a White House visit. In the end, despite 3 years of investigations and alternate theories of murder, Starr ruled Vince Foster's death a suicide. He exonerated the Clintons of any involvement, as well as cleared them of wrongdoing, Whitewater, and travel. This is the most familiar pattern. I believe we've seen this play out several times in the
I
last
think I'm going to go through some of the numbers.
couple of decades. Yeah.
All right, we're going to go through these, but we've compiled this before the show started. All right, so just so you know, out of the list of 71, there were 22 suicides, 10 people shot, 2 heart attacks.
Yep.
Let's see, 4 vehicle crashes, 7 plane crashes.
Wait, brakes. Okay. You've got these people swirling around this woman, right? Only 4 of these are automobile crashes. I can tell you that anywhere from 1 to 500 automobile accidents happen just in the Detroit metro area in a given day.
Correct.
So now you've got 7 plane crashes. How many plane crashes happen in a given day, let alone in one area?
Yeah, let alone 7 of them. We have 9 people found dead, with one of those people being decapitated and ruled a natural causes death. 2 people died from stabby. We have 12 dead bodyguards. We did not pull the names and go through everyone's individual how they all
Causes of
died.
death.
We didn't do causes of death. We have 1 questionable and 1 car bomb
In Panama.
Yeah, of course.
Which is a weapon of choice down there.
Yes,
It
I
is.
know.
In South America, they like car bombs.
And I'll even, like the guy who was running drugs who got killed by the cartel,
Okay.
I won't put that on the Clintons, because guess what? You fuck with those people and you fuck them over, they have enough money to find you, probably going to kill you.
Have you seen the girl on TikTok who's been calling out Venezuelan cartel members?
No.
There's a girl on TikTok who's been calling out Venezuelan cartel members. I'm waiting for parts of her to turn up all over the city. This is in New York.
Oh,
Because those things do not play.
no.
Those are the ones that we have on the show, Immigration Invasion, that episode that we did. I warned about these guys. She's calling them out on TikTok and showing faces. They're going to pop her if they get a chance.
Yeah, they will.
Total rabbit hole there, but they'll pop her if they get a chance.
But like, I mean, how many people do you know that committed suicide in your normal life? By the time you're 50, you maybe know 2 people. Or you know 5? All right.
You know a couple of the ones.
I know way more, but
Mike Ream.
I was in the military. Yeah, Mike Ream. How many of us know people who are fucking shot? If you're a civilian working a normal job, how many times you hear about one of your friends getting fucking murdered? Yeah. All right, heart attacks, that happens. All right.
We're from Detroit. I don't know anybody personally that was like outright murdered. I know one guy who was shot.
Yeah. Well, I know some people who got murdered. But here's the thing. We just, in what world do you live in where you have 22 suicides and only 2 people on the list died of heart attacks? Where does that happen?
Yeah.
And virtually everyone on this list had some kind of beef or dirt or some kind of situation with the Clintons.
Or was too close to an event that the Clintons wanted to go away.
Correct. This is just lunacy. And guess what? I mean, this is just an example of something that happened in the recent past. This is not going away. The problem that we had during this whole bullshit is still there. And I have a feeling we're going to see it again here real soon.
This will only get worse, and I will tell you why. Because Hillary Clinton is sort of an Ursabet Bathory. Are you familiar with
I am
Countess
not with
Bathory?
No.
She's the one who dragged young girls into her bath chambers and bled
Oh,
them out.
yeah. They killed her by walling her up behind a wall.
They walled her into a thing. Hillary may or may not allegedly have that sort of personality and will tell people, ostensibly, hypothetically, that this is how you do business. And with the way our government is going now, with the J6 prisoners and all of that going on, they're going to be more and more willing to do this. If you talk out against a regime, you accidentally shoot yourself in the head in the bathroom while the plane explodes and the car bomb goes off.
Yeah. Who knew?
Yeah. There will be more of this. This is just going to escalate.
Yeah. You're going to be fine.
You'll be fine.
You might die, but you won't feel it.
Somebody's gonna die.
Yeah, and then we have that whole Epstein thing too. We have people in prison, people who died in prison because of the whole Epstein bullshit, and they just killed him in jail. And the cameras just, went dead, and the guards, they were just fucking off. And
hey, cameras go dead in high security max prisons all the time.
While he's on suicide watch.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
With tissue paper.
Correct.
Who was it that made that tissue paper reference?
Well, that was
that you, Jimmy?
No.
That was me.
That was Jimmy.
But Crowder actually tried to reenact how he could possibly have hung himself.
Yeah.
And he just couldn't come up with there's not enough force to break the bone in your neck.
Was the bone broken?
Yes.
Did not know that.
Yeah.
The conspiracy theories around the Clintons and Jeffrey Epstein's death explained. This is an ultra left wing, basically might as well be communist website, Vox.com. They're known for it. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So as I read this, don't go, what are you saying? I'm telling you up front, this is a commie site. The idea that Bill and Hillary Clinton secretly kill their political enemies has circulated in right-wing fever swamps for decades. That's a good band name, right-wing fever swamp.
Right-wing fever swamp. Okay.
On Wednesday, Representative Paul Gosar, Arizona, sent out 23 consecutive tweets whose first letters spelled out a startling claim: Epstein didn't kill himself. What is this article from? I should have looked at the date first. Shame on me. 2019.
2019.
There we go. Gozer has coyly resisted confirming that he was alleging that the hedge fund manager and convicted sexual predator Jeffrey Epstein was murdered, but his tweets were hardly anomalous. Epstein's death has sparked a ton of conspiracy theorizing, and Epstein didn't kill himself has become a bona fide meme, and it is not dead to this day.
Nor should it be.
Showing up in signs at college football games and posted by influential pundits like Joe Rogan. To be clear, the New York City medical examiner has ruled that Epstein died by suicide because, of course, he did.
Of course he did.
A former New York City medical examiner hired by Epstein's brother has disputed this finding, but that examiner was fired after a long string of errors on his watch. How interesting that this man was discredited and then fired, making his words a little untrustworthy. That's odd.
It's not like they don't do that today.
No, they don't do anything like that at all. But that hasn't stopped prominent individuals up to and including Donald Trump from joining in the speculation. The day of Epstein's death, President Trump retweeted a conservative personality who captioned a video on which he pontificates at length about his theories with, "We know who did this," and the hashtags Clinton body count and Clinton crime family. Trump was clearer than Gozar in suggesting that who he thought had Epstein killed Bill and or Hillary Clinton. Well, here's a little factoid that is not disputed. Bill Clinton's name is on the Epstein flight log at least 19 times that I know of.
And there's rumor out there that there's video evidence of Mr. Clinton doing bad things with people.
Of course there is. They have to have some kind of leverage over him.
That's exactly what I think the whole Epstein Island debacle was a huge honeypot.
You're either living in absolute terror or you are the richest, baddest MFer on the planet if you hold on to files like that of like a whole bunch of
because listen,
Clinton and Bush and
there's a whole lot of people
so on and so forth
with a lot of power that have phones that can make phone calls that could end you.
Yeah. You are either one really seriously wealthy bad MFer or you are living in absolute fear every moment of your life.
Correct.
To understand what's going on here, you don't need to just know about Epstein's former friendship with Clinton or with Trump. He was not friends with Trump, by the way. You just need to understand the role that the allegations of murder by the Clintons have played in right-wing fever swamps since the 1990s, beginning with the suicide of Vince Foster. And continuing through the completely random 2016 murder of Democratic National Committee staffer Seth Rich. Vox? Really? Okay. Continuing through the completely random 2016 murder of Democratic National Committee staffer Seth Rich. To phrase it like that, they can completely random 2016 murder.
Of course.
It's random. Stop.
He's random. Is he on the list?
Yeah.
Okay.
Seth Rich. Yeah. He's the one who was shot like 3 times and robbed, but they didn't take anything. They left like a $10,000 watch on his wrist and a whole bunch of other stuff.
Yeah, typically, if you're gonna get robbed,
but
they rob you.
The audacity of these reporters to say something like the completely random murder. That doesn't make anybody want to look into things.
When you look at any one of these individually, you can probably get away with those words.
Yeah, it's fair.
But when you back up and you look at the whole thing from like a 50-foot downward eagle eye view, it's statistically impossible.
Yes,
it's just that simple.
Yes. Yeah, there are a lot of numbers that are thrown around out there in history that are statistically impossible. This is definitely.
Well, first of all, I want to be the guy who plays poker against the guy who wins 7 hands for 1 in 816 million in a row.
Yeah.
That is just astronomical odds.
Yeah.
That dude, if he's that lucky, then he can never lose a card game. Just think about that.
On the other hand, I really actually do want to play poker with the people who write these articles.
Yeah, because they're stupid.
Because I've been making a lot of money that night.
But just look at that. 1 in 816 million times 7.
Yeah.
7 times. Get the hell out of here.
In the proximity of one man.
Yeah,
plane crashes.
Let's go through the list so we can people can read. Go to that,
Oh, do we want to go to the list?
Yeah, let's go to the list because these people need to know exactly how these.
We're going to the big list? Let's go to the big list.
All right, let's go to the big list.
Oh, we had been we reviewed this entire list before the show.
Yes, we had to
just so you know. while I'm scrolling through this, when we were at the intelligence school, one of the graduating rituals is a poker game where all of the various ints, the comment guys, the SIGINT guys, the imagery guys, and everybody, we all play poker, and the interrogators always win, and we can never figure out why. It's because they can read the damn room.
Yeah. You got to share the screen. So it's not.
Oh, I didn't share the screen. Thank you.
There you go.
So I don't care who you are. Nobody has 56 friends who committed suicide. Jeffrey Epstein is the latest in a long list of Clinton family associates and acquaintances who died mysteriously or committed suicide before their public testimony. 2016, CBS Las Vegas posted a list of Bill and Hillary Clinton associates alleged to have died under mysterious circumstances. Here is that.
James McDougal.
Clinton's convicted Whitewater partner died of an apparent heart attack while in solitary confinement. He was a key witness in the Starr investigation.
Of course he was.
Solitary confinement heart attack. That's tough.
Yeah.
Mary Mahoney, former White House intern, was murdered July 1997 at a Starbucks. The murder happened just after she was about to go public. Two guys walked in with silenced weapons, forced her and her two friends into a stockroom in the back of the store, and shot them with silenced weapons. That sounds like a stock robbery for Georgetown to me.
Yeah, I'm not buying it. Come on.
Vince Foster, we just went over that in great detail. Gunshot wound to the head, ruled a suicide. Ron Brown, Secretary of Commerce and former DNC chairman, reported to have died by impact in a plane crash.
Well, and what kind of dirt did he have?
He spoke publicly of his willingness to cut a deal with prosecutors. The rest of the people on the plane also died. A few days later, the air traffic controller committed suicide too.
Wow.
Hey, by the way, when they did the autopsy on this guy, the investigation reported there was a hole at the top of Brown's skull resembling a gunshot wound. Odd.
Yeah, how odd.
Number 5, C. Victor Razor. Razor, a major player in the Clinton fundraising organization, died in a private plane crash. That's 2.
That's 2. All right.
92.
And 93, I think.
90. Where's the Ron Brown date? Doesn't see a Ron Brown date
All
there.
right.
Paul Tillich, Democratic National Committee political director, found dead in a hotel room in Little Rock, September 92.
And they don't tell you how he died.
Described as a dear friend and trusted advisor. Sorry about this, Paul, old chap.
You're gone.
Ed Willie, Clinton fundraiser, found dead November 1993, deep in the woods in Virginia of a gunshot wound to the head because walking around in the woods, one is often shot in the head. Wait, the mob likes to get rid of people by driving them out to the woods and shooting them in the head.
I've seen that movie.
Yes, several times. Ruled a suicide. Ed Willie died the same day his wife, Kathleen, had claimed Bill Clinton groped her in the Oval Office in the White House. Ed Willie was involved in several Clinton fundraising events. Odd. 8, Jerry Parks, head of Clinton's gubernatorial security team. Oh, here's one of his security guys. Gunned down in his car at a deserted intersection outside Little Rock Park. Park's son said, oh, I see there's a period left out there. Park's son said that his father was building a dossier on Clinton. He originally threatened to reveal this information. After he died, the files were mysteriously removed from his house.
Yeah, how does that happen?
It's one hell of a coincidence, dude. James Bunch died from a gunshot suicide. Reported that he had a black book of people who contained influential names of influential people who visited prostitutes in Texas and Arkansas.
And Epstein Island.
Well, yeah.
If it existed back then.
I don't know. James Wilson found dead in 93 from an apparent hanging suicide. He was reported to have ties to Whitewater. There's a peripheral person being smoked. Kathy Ferguson, ex-wife of Arkansas State Trooper Danny Ferguson, who was found dead in May 1994 in a living room with a gunshot to the head. It was ruled a suicide, even though there were several packed suitcases as if she were going somewhere.
Yeah, that's kind of weird. You're going to pack your bags to go on the forever trip? I don't think so.
Right. Danny Ferguson was a co-defendant along with Bill Clinton in the Paula Jones lawsuit. Kathy Ferguson was a possible corroborating witness for Paula Jones. June 12th, 1994, Bill Shelton committed suicide. Fiance of Kathy Ferguson, who also killed herself 1 month earlier with suitcases. Shelton was a Sherwood, Arkansas police officer who had been vociferous in his allegations that his wife to-be had not committed suicide and, in fact, had been murdered with her suitcases. Shelton was found sprawled across Ferguson's gravesite with an allegedly self-inflicted gunshot wound
to the back of his head. Get the fuck out of here.
Gandhi Baugh. January 8th, 1994, Gandhi committed suicide. Later, attorney for Dan Lassiter, who was a previous client of Hillary Clinton, as well as contributor to the Bill Clinton campaign, and, according to Arkansas sources, was described as his partying companion. Lassiter was a distributor of illegal drugs and also involved, represented by Baugh, in a case of alleged financial misconduct. Baugh unexpectedly threw himself out of a several-story building.
Of course he did.
Florence Martin. Now we're getting into spooky land. Accountant and subcontractor for the CIA, was related to Barry Seal. He had the PIN to a bank account of $1.46 million set up for Barry Seal. Mena, Arkansas airport drug smuggling case. He died of 3 gunshot wounds. So the guy who had the books for the money
got whacked.
That
never happened.
never happens. It's not the plot of several gangster movies.
I thought an accountant was safe.
I'm beginning to wonder how many Hollywood gangster movies are actually somebody going, Hillary Clinton, I better change this to the mob. Susan Coleman on February 15th, 1977 of all. Susan Coleman committed suicide. She is alleged to have a sexual affair with Bill Clinton during the time he was Arkansas State Attorney General. Coleman was 7.5 months pregnant at the time of herself and shot herself in the back of the head. No mother 7 months pregnant is going to shoot herself, let alone in the back of the head.
Back of the head. And there was no autopsy.
Nature will not allow a pregnant female to do such a thing unless she is cranked on meth or something like that.
Or dicks, meth and dicks.
Meth and dicks.
And meth and dicks, pretty much.
Okay. There is consequently no scientific proof the baby belonged to Bill. There's a coincidence as well.
Yeah.
16. Paula Grober, Clinton's speech interpreter for the deaf from 1978 until her death in 1992. She died in a 1-car accident.
All right, now, let's just be honest. People die in car accidents.
That's true, but given the stains on Monica's dress,
yes. You never know.
You never know. Danny Casolaro, August 1991. Danny committed suicide. He was an investigative journalist who'd been working to uncover leads of several then-rumored Clinton scandals, including activities at the Mena Airport in Arkansas. There's a lot that ties back to this drug activity at the Mena Airport in Arkansas.
Yeah, I know.
There's a lot of it. Casolaro was found dead in his hotel bathroom with both wrists opened, though he had repeatedly informed his family and friends that if he met such a fate, it would not be suicide.
Yes.
Why, that's very strange indeed.
Yeah, that is weird.
18, Paul Wilcher, attorney investigating corruption at Mena Airport.
Mm-hmm.
And the 1980 October surprise was found dead on a toilet a la Elvis in 1993 in his Washington, D.C. apartment. He wrote a 105-page letter report to then attorney Janet Reno describing knowledge of the Mena, Arkansas gun running and drug dealing activity. Jeez.
Wow.
John Parnell Walker, 93. John Walker committed suicide. He was an investigator for Resolution Trust Corporation into the Whitewater affair. Enough said.
Mm-hmm.
He apparently jumped to his death from his apartment balcony. That's 2 jumpers. The one guy threw himself out, and this guy jumped from his apartment balcony.
So we got 2 gravity testers.
We have 2 gravity checks. Yes. 20, Barbara Wise, Commerce Department staffer, worked closely with Braun Brown and John Huang. Cause of death unknown. Died November 1996.
That's questionable.
Cause of death unknown. But her bruised and naked body was found locked in her office at the Department of Commerce. Gosh, I think we have a pretty good idea how she died.
More than likely, she died of a brain bleed because they beat the crap out.
Raped and beaten.
Yeah,
would be my guess. Charles Meisner, Assistant Secretary of Commerce, who gave John Wong special security clearance, died shortly thereafter in a
small plane crash.
There's a lot of that going around. Dr. Stanley Hurd, I remember this one. Chairman of the National Chiropractic Healthcare Advisory Committee, died with his attorney Steve Dixon in a
Small plane crash.
Dr. Hurd, in addition to serving on Clinton's advisory council, personally treated Clinton's mother, stepfather, and brother. Barry Seal, drug-running TWA pilot out of Mena, Arkansas. Death was no accident. What they're saying here is he was found shot and all messed up. We got that from the other article.
Yes.
This is the root of the whole Mena, Arkansas drug-running thing.
Yeah.
Is this guy Barry Seal right here.
And his name was Loose End.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. His name was Loose End.
That's right.
Johnny Lawhorn, mechanic, found a check made out to Bill Clinton in the trunk of a car left at his repair shop. He was found dead after his
Car had hit a utility pole, ladies and gentlemen.
How much more obvious do you want this one to be? Hey, I found a check from Bill Clinton. Anybody know who this belongs to? You're dead.
Next thing you know, 100 miles into a pole. There you go.
Out of nowhere, just
Boom.
God, damn the luck.
Wow. Who knew?
On June 24th, 1994, Stanley Huggins may have committed suicide. Huggins was a principal lawyer in the firm of Huggins and Associates located in Memphis. He was investigating the Morgan Guarantee scandal in relation to the Whitewater affair. Despite numerous requests from his wife, no hospital records were evidently released, having been sealed by order of Clinton Attorney General Janet Reno.
Yep.
During the same weekend as his death, Huggins' office was mysteriously burglarized, and his files with 300-page reports were mysteriously stolen under mysterious circumstances. Mysteriously,
and you know, what are you going to do?
What
Redundantly land.
what
Mysteriously.
string of coincidences.
Yes.
What a string of coincidences.
And when you look at them all, you will get to the same conclusion that I have. This is impossible.
Herschel Friday, attorney and Clinton fundraiser, died March 1st, 1994, when his
plane exploded. Now, listen, I'm not laughing at the fact that he's dead. Okay, that sucks. I'm just laughing at the fact that this is so fucking obvious and nobody's talking about it.
It really is obvious.
Holy fucking shit.
This is pretty ridiculously obvious.
Oh my God.
This is hard to you look at this and if you don't see the pattern here, you really are at about a second grade reading level.
This is insane.
Kevin Ives and Don Henry, known as the Boys on the Track case. Now, this one seriously looks like these guys came across something they shouldn't have seen. Guess where it is? Mena, Arkansas.
Yeah.
Airport drug operation.
And they were hit by a train because they fell asleep on the railroad tracks.
Except that the boys' bodies showed signs of stabby and shooty.
Yes.
The following persons had information on the Ives Henry case, which is the one we just mentioned, the two boys on the track. Keith Coney died when his motorcycle slammed into the back of a truck. Keith Maskey died, stabbed 113 times. Gregory Collins died from a gunshot wound. Jeff Rhodes, he was shot, mutilated, and found burned in a trash dump. James Milan found decapitated. However, the coroner ruled his death was
due to natural causes.
Get the fuck out of here! What the? Oh my God.
Dude.
You can't make this up.
Natural causes.
Wow. Wow.
Richard Winters, a suspect in the Ives Henry deaths, he was killed in a setup robbery July 1989. That never happens in this world either.
All right, so we have the following bodyguards. Why don't we just do one random search for one of these people's names, and we'll just see how they died.
I'm gonna grab Major General William Robertson here, and I have to do Command click because this is a Mac.
Yes.
Oh, that's
Command C, and then go to another tab and do Command V.
My hands know all of the other things.
All right.
Okay. Bear with us for just 1 second.
This is going to be fun.
We're going to share this slab instead.
Control V.
And V. Major Thompson. Served in various military capacities in the early 20th century and similar names. No.
Death Clinton.
Let's see if the 1933 in London. They really don't want us to look this guy up.
Yeah, wow.
Suspicious suicides. Dead bodyguards.
Yeah.
Hey, rabbit hole.
There we go.
The Clinton body count. We found another one. Mary Mahoney, Vince Foster.
There's the dead bodyguard.
There you go. Deputy Commanding General 5 Corps Europe. Wow. That's a kill.
All were killed with their helicopter crashed in. Okay. So we have another.
There's the helicopter crashes. Somebody from Colonel Murray's set mentioned helicopter crashes to me earlier,
All right.
just before the show.
So now we're at 8 aircraft collisions.
Yeah. Steve Willis, Clinton bodyguard. Robert Williams, Clinton bodyguard.
Wow.
Are we viewing this tab? Yeah, we're viewing this tab. Okay, good.
I see it on the screen. Yeah.
Okay.
Wow.
Executed by gunfire in the Waco, Texas assault. All 4 were examined by a private doctor and died from nearly identical wounds to the left temple, so-called execution style. So a bunch of former Clinton bodyguards were part of the assault at Waco and
got stitched up on the...
4 of these guys were executed at Waco.
Wow. Who knew? I never heard that in the news.
I never heard that before.
I never heard that in the news. Wow. See what you get when you dig in the rabbit hole?
5 Navy aviators all died in a crash of the E-2C Hawkeye in Italy. The crash occurred shortly after the plane was waved off from a landing attempt on the carrier Roosevelt due to a fouled deck. I've seen a wave off. All 5 men had been Clinton's escorts during Clinton's visit to the Roosevelt 2 weeks prior.
So that's 9 aircraft
They
crashes.
must have seen something. 3 other men who had flown Clinton on the Roosevelt for that visit also died later in a fucking helicopter crash.
That's 10. 10 helicopter crash. 10 aircraft.
I feel like we need the count from Sesame Street here.
Yeah, 10. Ooh,
Captain Scott Reynolds, Clinton bodyguard, died 5/19/93. All 4 men died when their helicopter crashed into the woods near Quantico. That's 11. Reporters were barred from the site, and the head of the fire department responding to the crash described it by saying security was tight, lots of Marines with guns. Videotape was made by a firefighter, was seized by Marines. All 4 men had escorted the Clintons on his flight to the Roosevelt.
Wow.
Dead fundraisers. This is nasty, dude. This is a rabbit hole of all kinds. There's a whole bunch of different names there that we did not have.
Yeah. Wow.
Jerry Parks, head of Clinton's gubernatorial security team in Little Rock, gunned down in his car at a deserted intersection. Okay, we had that one.
Yes. James
Bunch, we had that one.
Gunshot suicide.
Bill Shelton, Arkansas State Trooper and fiance of Kathy Ferguson. We had that one. There's Kathy Ferguson herself. There's Gandhi Baugh. Ronald Rogers. There's Huggins. Florence Martin, accounting subcontractor to the CIA. Dead women. Suzanne Coleman. Paula Grober, Clinton's speech interpreter.
What about the so-called illegitimate son that Clinton had? Didn't he get whacked?
I don't know.
Didn't he get whacked? I'm pretty sure he's dead.
I don't know. I was at the Korean headquarters element down the street from where Kim Il-sung's nephew was assassinated when that happened, though. That was something else. Totally unrelated, but
yeah,
I was near a big political assassination. Dead Commerce Department deaths. Dead Commerce Department deaths? That's a hell of a thing to say. Former chairman, DMC Commerce Secretary, died 5/3/96. Ron Brown died along with 39 other people when the T-43, a converted 737 used by the Air Force, carrying the group on a trip to Bosnia, crashed. That's 12. Near the Dubrovnik airport. On the verge of being indicted and having stated publicly his willingness to make a deal with prosecutors, Ron's death brought to an end the investigation into the Commerce Department. Also belongs under dead fundraisers. Barbara Wise, Commerce Department staffer. As to the scandals, continue to swirl around the president. These lists go on and on and on.
Yeah, look at this.
The Henry Ives deaths. Initial cause of death was reported to be the result of falling asleep on a railroad track in Arkansas. This is the railroad kids.
Yeah.
Died from a crushed skull prior to being placed on the tracks. Dan had been stabbed in the back. Rumors indicate they might have stumbled upon a Mena drug operation. So there's the theory that I was going off of to begin with. Keith Coney had information on the Ives Henry deaths. Died in a motorcycle accident with unconfirmed reports of a high-speed car chase. So they probably chased him into a pole. You've done the driving classes.
Yes,
I've been in those vehicles. You can drive somebody into a thing.
Well, you do a pit maneuver on him.
Yeah.
It's over.
Well, if he's on a motorcycle, it's that much easier. All you got to do is make him panic.
You just got to bump him.
Yeah.
It's over.
Yep. Keith McCaskill had information on the Ives Henry death. He was stabbed to death in November 1988. Gregory Collins had information on the Ives Henry deaths. He died from a gunshot wound to the face.
Wow.
Jeff Rhodes had information on the Ives Henry and McCaskill deaths. His burned body was found in a trash dump in April. He died of a gunshot wound to the head, and there was some body mutilation, leading to the probably speculation that he was tortured prior to be killed, probably for information. Pro tip, by the way, torturing somebody to get information will get you things said, but they're usually very unreliable because the person's in pain and just wants to.
They're just telling you what you want to hear.
One of the funniest things I ever saw was an interrogator just walk this guy around and talk about stuff, and he was so good at like talking a spiral down to what he wanted to talk about that it only took him like 15 minutes, and the guy's like, "Oh yeah, you know, we were this, that, and the other," and the guy's like, "Damn it,
you got me."
It was at a school. We were watching them do their thing. So James Millam had information on the Ives Henry deaths. He was decapitated. The state medical examiner, Fahmy Malik, initially ruled the death due to natural causes.
Yeah.
That's the one we mentioned.
We mentioned that. Like, what the
Winters was a suspect in the deaths of Ives and Henry, who was killed in a robbery. That's when their robbery gone bad. When you have a category in your life called miscellaneous death,
you are on a bad road. That's
You're
a bad
not
road.
a nice person.
Yeah.
You are not a nice person.
No,
My
you are
name is
not.
Hillary Clinton, and I have miscellaneous deaths. Hi, Hillary.
Oh, my God.
Stanley Hurd, Chairman, National Chiropractic Healthcare Advisory Committee. Steve Dixon, counsel to Mr. Hurd, died on 10th of September, 1993. Both died of
Plane crash?
Yeah. Outside Dulles Airport after their aircraft rented after Hurd's personal aircraft developed troubles.
Shocker.
Well, that's weird. Here, use this perfectly good aircraft that Hillary has been nowhere near. It'll fly just fine.
Right into the ground.
Crashed while attempting an emergency landing after reporting a fire on board. Hurd, in addition to serving on Clinton's advisory council, also personally treated Clinton's mother, stepfather, and brother. Jim Wilhite, vice chairman, Arkla Incorporated, died December 92, died in a one-person skiing accident. Wilhite had extensive ties with Clinton and Mac McLarty, whom he also visited by telephone just before his death. The skiing accident thing, I would have to see where he was skiing and what his level was.
Listen, people get whacked all the time. I can write that one off as just dumbassery. It's a ski accident.
It's possible, but then you've got the movie Shooter, and Hollywood is apparently going, so in this story, Hillary Clinton, we better make this the government. Let's just do the
Didn't
government.
Cher's ex-husband die?
Sonny Bono?
Yeah.
Yeah, but that was genuinely, he boffed on the hill.
Yeah, I know. It happens.
And died badly.
Yeah. That's why
this guy is, because he's connected to Hillary, it's suspect.
See, Charlie don't surf and Pop don't ski. That's just, I would never get on skis. You can suck it.
I have done a lot of cross-country skiing.
No, thank you.
And when I was young, and then we ended up doing it in 2ID, and I was good at it. So
yeah, I did it for a little bit when we did Arctic winter survival in Alaska.
Yeah,
I'm gonna tell you this right now. You can suck it. I hated every fucking moment of that. I don't never want to do that again. No.
Yeah.
I think we're cool.
How about semi mountain climbing in Korea in the winter?
No, thank you.
That's a good time too. It's a good time too.
Yeah.
No granite flakes.
Semi.
Off. Yeah.
Rock climbing.
Yeah. It was only like 600 feet.
That's only
Where did we go here? One person skiing accident. Gary Johnson, not dead, but beaten near death and left for dead. He had videotapes of Clinton breaking into Jennifer Flowers' apartments.
His tapes were taken, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah.
That's strange. That's a strange thing, I'm telling you.
Dennis Patrick, court clerk, had millions of dollars laundered through his account at Lassiter and Company without his knowledge. 4 attempts on his life. At that point, you know what, Hillary, you win. I'm good.
Yep.
L.J. Davis, reporter investigating Clinton scandals, attacked in his hotel room in Little Rock. His notes were stolen. How extremely strange. Larry Nichols, former official at ADFA and author of the Clinton Chronicles, the man who broke many of the Clinton scandal stories, several attempts on his life. Sadly, the story goes on.
Wow. And we just went down one rabbit hole.
That was just one rabbit hole.
Yeah.
Just looking up Major General William Robinson, we ended up with 12
additional deaths.
aircraft deaths. A total of 12.
No. Let's see. Plane crashes. We're at 11.
11 plane crashes orbiting one individual family.
And well, some of them didn't have anything, but a lot of these, had to deal with people who had dirt on the Clintons. Because let's just 11 airplane crashes.
Yeah.
What are the odds of you experiencing, or knowing people who died in 11, aircraft crashes when the stat is 1 in 816 million?
Yeah.
Times 11. It's statistically impossible unless you want it to happen or you made it happen in some way. Hell, I'll even write off 2 of these plane crashes as shit happens. They were military aircraft. It happens. So if you take those out, it's down to 9. Impossible.
Yeah.
Come on.
Pretty much. I mean, they even killed their dentist. Dr. Donald Rogers, family dentist of the Clintons, killed in plane crash. I mean,
Come
what
on.
did you kill your dentist for? What did he see? Come on. That's just mean at that point.
Yeah. And that was in 94. I had a feeling that they had a lot of dirt they brought with them from Arkansas when they were the governor.
Yeah.
And
it sounds like they were in tight with the cartels.
And they were cleaning up a lot of loose ends.
Sounds like they were very in tight with the cartels.
And
Once they got into the federal government, they started to use that to
campaign with.
Yeah.
And then after that, what happened with the drug war and the cartels?
It would explain a lot of shit that I never did what you did there. But it would explain a lot of shit that we both know about.
Yep.
And it would explain a lot of what's going on today.
My experience down there in South America, the counter drug stuff is extremely limited. I spent almost no time there.
I thought you operated there for a little bit.
No, just a couple operations.
You were just there for a minute?
Yeah, just a quick minute.
That's what we did.
Yeah.
We were in and out of Bolivia. We needed some stuff from the place, and we got our stuff and we got out.
One of my buddies who has since passed away, he had kidney failure because he was doing the same thing down there, basically reconning for the coca fields.
Mm-hmm.
Then you basically mark them on a map, you call them in, and they spray something on there. They say it's Roundup.
Yeah.
But it burned out his fucking kidneys.
Yeah, of course it's Roundup. That shit killed one of my uncles.
Yeah, and guess what? I mean, it is what it is. But this is some fucked up shit here.
Yeah.
Let's just look at the numbers.
I remember Admiral Borda too. I remember him. We were both in at this time. This was 1996. He flew combat missions in Vietnam. This guy was like a decorated guy.
Yeah.
When questioned over authority to wear them, he responded there was no intent at deception, and he would desist. He had some missions reclassified, apparently. But he apparently killed himself over the matter only weeks later. Detractors believe the admiral, in fact, refused to transport Chinese and other foreign troops on U.S. ships for training on American shores and became a liability. That is an absolute possibility.
It totally is.
Now.
It is.
Absolutely a possibility now. Anti-Clinton activists that have been murdered or died in mysterious circumstances over just 1 month in 2016. Sean Lucas committed suicide. He was the man who served a legal complaint, a nationwide class action suit for fraud against the Democratic National Committee, later proved to have conspired against Bernie Sanders in the Democratic primary election, and Chairman Debbie Wasserman Schultz. That is a special breed of ugly, that woman.
Oh, yeah.
That is fell out of the top of the ugly tree, hit every branch on the way down, hit the ground, and had the tree fall on her.
No. And she scraped her face off on the bark on the way down, too. That woman is ugly.
His girlfriend found his body on the bathroom floor. August 2016, Victor Thorne committed suicide. He was the author of a trilogy on supposed nefarious dealings by both Clintons and a writer for alternative media website The American Free Press. The cause was a gunshot wound to the head. Incidentally, it was his birthday. Any correlation to the imminent election involving Hillary Rodham Clinton is alleged to be entirely circumstantial.
Of course it is. When you look at each individual one, yes, it's circumstantial. But when you back up and you look at the numbers, it's not. This is insane.
This was the spooky one here. Seth Rich. I remember this one. Staffer murdered and robbed of nothing. On July 10th, WikiLeaks found Assange claims he had info on the DNC scandal. According to the leaked emails just before Rich was murdered, the infamous John Podesta wrote, "I'm definitely for making an example of a suspected leaker, whether or not we have any basis for it." Later in the email, Joel Benenson said, "I think we have to make examples now of people who have violated the trust of HRC and the rest of the team."
There you go.
She's running this thing like a mafia princess.
Correct.
Robbie Mook also replied to Podesta's message, throwing his weight behind the bloodthirsty campaign manager, saying, "I would love an example being made." Rich, 27 years old, was shot multiple times, including twice in the back.
Huh.
Yeah. And his mother said he had signs of fighting. He had bruises on his face, hands, and knees.
Defensive wounds?
Defensive wounds.
Yep.
John Ash, the former president of the UN National General Assembly, was allegedly being set to testify against Clinton in a corruption case, probably over the Haiti thing if he was UN.
Yep. He died of a heart attack.
Yeah. Official reports indicate he died of a heart attack. Problem, however, is the police on the scene reported that Ash died when his throat was crushed during a workout accident. Slipped and fell on the treadmill, don't you know?
Yes. Well, I mean,
because when I slip and fall on the treadmill, I put my hands back and put my chin out.
Of course.
So I can catch the bar with my chin.
Yes, because that's a technique.
It is a technique.
It's not the preferred method, though.
The Post's page 6 reported that after Ash was found dead Wednesday, the UN claimed he had died from a heart attack. Adding to the mysterious nature of Ash's death was the fact that he had been slated to be in court on Monday with his Chinese businessman co-defendant, Lap Sung. That is not Chinese, that's Singaporean.
Yep.
From whom he reportedly received over $1 billion in donations. Wow. $1 billion in donations. Why, that won't influence a man to do anything.
No.
And then there was this. During his presidency of Bill Clinton, Sung initially illegally funneled several $100,000 to the Democrat National Committee. Joe Montano, an aide to Hillary's running mate Tim Kaine, died of a heart attack on July 25th, immediately after the WikiLeaks announcement was made. He had worked for the DNC and was only 47 years old. Yes, you can induce a heart attack.
Yes,
it is known that you can do that. Molly McCauley, one of the few economists specializing in satellites and the space program generally, was stabbed to death by a mysterious assailant July 8th while walking her dogs near her home in Baltimore.
She was 59. Now, with the heart attack thing, there are some mushrooms out there that if you take some of the extract will induce a heart attack. And unless the coroner does specific tests, you won't detect it.
I may or may not know of a plant through a person that we call the Witch of the Mountains, who has mentioned that certain plants have that property.
Yes.
You know what you're doing with them.
I mean, Socrates.
Yes, hemlock.
Hemlock got him.
He was poisoned by hemlock.
Yep.
So, in his final interview, American chef Anthony Bourdain speaks about the Clintons and how Monica Lewinsky's scandal was handled. He had also tweeted about experiencing Hillary Clinton's wrath for speaking out on such topics. And I am in no way an HRC fan. I've been on the receiving end of one of her operatives' wraths, and ain't fun. He claimed that Bill Clinton was entitled, rapey, gropey, grabby, and disgusting. And Bourdain even expressed he had little respect for Barack Obama. Anthony Bourdain allegedly took his own life by hanging.
Yeah, I did a story on this, and it was over. They're saying it was over a girlfriend breakup thing, which is plausible.
Guy was at the peak of his career.
Men do that. What are you going to do?
I am more inclined to believe that.
I don't know what to believe. This is just weird.
There's a lot of hanging swirling around all of this, is what I'm saying. This is Anthony Bourdain. If he's going to whack himself, I mean, he could stick his head in one of his $7,000 Vulcan ovens. He could shoot himself with an expensive weapon, but he chooses to hang himself over a girl.
Yes. I don't know.
Sounds shady.
Shady.
July 2018, investigative journalist Jen Moore was found dead in a suburban D.C. hotel room. Moore, an advocate who investigated child abuse and investigated abused and trafficked children, had been in the process of investigating allegations by a 26-year-old man that as a young boy, he was sexually assaulted by Bill Clinton and pimped out at private sex parties attended by other D.C. elites. We now know that stuff goes on.
That really did happen. I'm not saying the Clinton. I'm just saying that there's enough evidence out there that child trafficking is taking place.
Yes, exactly. I have very, very few triggers that will cause me to become blind violent.
That's one of them.
This is one of them. You harm a kid in front of me, I'm doing you.
That's right.
You're done. Moore, an advocate who investigated and abused trafficked children. Okay, I'm rereading. Moore was interviewed about the Clinton case. And 1 month later, Moore is she was dead. Who's writing this? Her body found by employees at a country inn and suites by Radisson in Washington, D.C. East. So one of the things to take away from this is do not stay in a hotel in Washington, D.C. if you can help it.
Yes.
A lot of killing going on. The investigation is ongoing. Autopsy results were not available on Wednesday. Just 4 weeks before her death, Moore filed details of the alleged victims' claims with the Department of Homeland Security, detailing the allegations against Clinton. I have a really good idea. Let's give all of your journalistic filings to one of the alphabet agencies known to participate in this activity.
Yeah, and they'll take care of it.
They'll take care of it. Eberwein was a former Haitian government official who was expected to expose the Clinton Foundation in Haiti and malpractice next week. He had been found dead in Miami at the age of 50. This goes on and on and on. We are almost to a window, which means we want to bring this one up before we get into the super chats.
Yes.
Because
now this one, I think,
take it away,
is absolutely reprehensible. I mean, this is JFK Jr. And it just so happens he was running against Hillary Clinton for the seat. And she knew she wasn't going to beat him. So he had to die in another plane crash, of course.
For those of you out there who don't quite get who this is, when JFK was assassinated at the funeral, he was Jackie
a little boy.
There was a little boy in a blue coat who walked up and saluted.
Yep.
That
was him.
This guy here.
Yeah.
John F. Kennedy Jr. was just 38 years old when he died in a tragic plane crash on July 16th, 1999, and not everyone believes that was an accident. When JFK died in a plane crash, the media came to a quick conclusion that the so-called Kennedy curse had struck again. It sure did, because the CIA whacked his dad.
Yep.
We know those files came out. Why isn't anything being done about that? I didn't think there was a statute of limitations on murder, let alone the assassination of a president.
Technically, there isn't.
After all, the heir apparent to the family dynasty had lost both his father, President Kennedy, and his uncle, Senator Robert Kennedy, brutal assassinations, making JFK's death all the eerier. On July 16, 1999, the late President Sutton planned to travel to a family wedding. Though he had broken an ankle, John F. Kennedy climbed into the single-engine Piper Saratoga alongside his wife, Catherine Bassett, and her sister, And he meant to drop Lauren off at Martha's Vineyard, then fly with Carolyn to the Kennedy family compound for the wedding in Hyannisport, Massachusetts. But the trio never made it to their destinations. 62 minutes after taking off from Essex County Airport in New Jersey, Kennedy's plane, which was piloting itself, crashed into the water. The crash killed everyone on board the plane on impact. Their bodies were found 5 days later.
Yep.
Now, this article says that he was not acquainted with flying by instrumentation, that he was just a visual flyer.
First of all, you cannot get a pilot's license without passing instrument flying.
Yes.
That is bullshit.
Yeah.
I know quite a few guys who got their pilot license.
As do I.
And they had to retake the test a couple times because they failed using the instruments. You need to be able to do that. You will not get a pilot's license if you can't use the instruments to fly.
Yeah.
It's just that simple.
Yeah.
What is this? World War I barnstorming bullshit? Get the hell out of here.
You could play but he was a Kennedy card. But all the same, he's not going to get a license.
I don't believe it.
To fly.
I do not believe it. I don't believe it.
Yeah.
All right. Especially when we have 11 aircraft incidences all revolving around the Clinton family, and a majority of them, these people who died on these planes, had dirt or some kind of grievance against the Clintons.
Yeah.
Get out of here, especially when it's 1 in 816 million to 1. Get the hell out of here.
Here's the famous photo
of
him saluting his father's coffin, by the way. He was going up against Hillary, and all of a sudden, he's a plane crash. I hope tonight's been informative.
Yes.
Hope you enjoyed the show. I think it's time we moved on to Super Chat.
Yes, and we have to start doing the Super Chats. But listen, like I said in the beginning, this has not gone away. The people who did this are still up there working.
Yeah.
And we're seeing the actual political machine being weaponized against you. Just think of it. Over half this country want a certain president to sit in that seat, and the other half doesn't. And they're weaponizing our own government against us. And they've been doing it for quite some time. And obviously, when you look at this list, they don't have a problem killing people. They've gotten away with it for decades, if not half a century.
Yeah.
And what's to stop them from continuing to do it?
Arguably 70 years or more.
Yes. Listen, this should absolutely terrify the shit out of you.
Yeah.
Holy crap.
That's a load.
Oh, all right.
That's what she said.
Oh, my Lord.
She said. Well played, Jimmy.
All right. Please, if you're watching this, hit the like button and subscribe.
Oh, we didn't even say that.
We need some people here. I mean, we have 260 some odd likes, and with almost 700 people watching.
I got 924 viewers over on Rumble and only 50 likes. Come on, smash it like a cheese pizza.
Let's see.
You don't want me to push buttons like an evil button pushing monkey.
Don't make Jimmy. Please don't make Jimmy push
no. All right, let's get through some of these super chats.
Do it, Jimmy.
All righty. We are light on the YouTube side of the super chats tonight because I believe a lot of the guys in the chat and in the community had said yuck footube.
Oh, yeah.
And we've only got 3 over there so far.
Wow.
First one here from Thumper the Sweaty Fat Guy for $2. That guy's awesome. Says people whom not to travel with. Bill and Tom Hanks.
Yeah.
Seriously.
Yeah. Ascension with $5 says, damn, the Kennedy family must have ran train on Hillary and ignored the next day phone call.
Damn.
Jeez.
Oh, wow. It's a thug life right there.
Oh,
Wow.
Oh, the imagery there.
Wow.
That's something I didn't need to have in my brain pan. I'm going to have a couple beers to drink that.
Yeah, I'm going to have to something my brain pan because not great.
That's a bad image.
Let's see. And the last one here from Cool Cat for $20. Salute everybody. Thank you guys for all you do.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. All right, we'll jump over here to Rumble, and Rumble did not jump on me tonight, so we're all good there. First one here, Alucard 1776, $2. Good news, my tree came in, and I had to get another for pollination.
Nice.
Winning. Plant the trees, man.
All right.
Let's see here. McTow Mando. Jimmy, try to read this in a French accent. It's going to be horrid, but in Europe, the Killy's title is Madame Stutterfly.
I'm not sure that was a French accent, but
It's all right. You tried. It's all good.
French Canadian. What can you say? I don't know.
All right.
I tried to channel in my inner Monty Python there for a second.
Your inner Blake, he can do all of those accents.
Yeah. Alucard coming back says, I don't think it's Madam H. I don't think Madam H is human, but a demon. Should I get the holy water ready?
You probably should get the holy water ready. In all honesty.
Yeah. We need a young priest and an old priest.
Oh, wow.
See, I got Digital Dew coming in with $3. Damn it! How much to pay to not see Hillary vids? Sorry, man. I had to rip that Band-Aid off quick because I know it was going to be requested. Hopefully,
there is that.
Was in the hospital again. 9 liters drained from abdomen, and good old Diladude. Dilaudid. Thank you. Good shit. They want me to get it done routinely once per week.
Oh, yikes.
Yeah, he's in the hospital.
Wish you well, man. Wish you well.
Yep.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Let's see. Mando come back. He says, I forget the wrench's name, but the eldest sister of Vlad Dracul was known to bathe in the blood of virgins, believing it would keep her youthful. Now she's a former first lady.
Oldest sister of Vlad. That was Ursula Bathory. And she's somebody else entirely from a different place. But yeah.
Yep. But now she's the former first lady.
Yeah, that's true. Entirely possible.
I'm just saying there is a video around the dark web that may or may not have Hillary Clinton in it, and it may or may not contain some very, very, very horrid images.
No, I'm good.
I've heard it's bad.
All right, let's move on.
Morgrat with $2. Don't forget, Webseer Hubble is Chelsea's dad. You can check her pre-plastic surgery pictures, and it's undeniable.
Huh.
I have seen the photos you're talking about. The resemblance is exceptionally strong. That is not necessarily proof of daddyhood, but
it goes a long way.
Does raise a few questions.
Well, it is proof that Chelsea Clinton is so ugly when she gives oral, it counts as anal.
That's true. That is factual.
That's so
God. Horrible fucking bug. It's got Deus Ex Machina Prime with $10. Trump 2024.
All right.
Hopefully, man. Even though I'm not a favorite guy in what he did, but well, he's all we got. So
yep.
So we got Mando coming back. I wonder if Hillary's favorite song is "Shot Through the Heart." And you're in pain.
Oh, my Lord. God.
Darling, you give love. Mando coming back again. McAvey is a black mark on the Army Chemical Corps. I hope he and Hillary are cellmates in hell. Oh, McVeigh. Sorry.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Listen, making Ampho bombs is not hard.
Nope. And I have been to Oklahoma City a couple times, and yeah, that is a very humbling and sobering moment when you go to the monument that they have there.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of mass casualty attacks.
I knew one of McVeigh's commanders, and he said that McVeigh was a hothead, a loudmouth, and just a dipshit. He was a decent soldier, but he was never going to make it past specialist.
Yeah.
Nope. See, I got Digital Dew here, $2. Have you guys heard about Inslaw Promise Software and Vince Foster.
I have not.
Check it out. Well, I might have to.
You need to send us an email on that, redonkulus12gmail.com, and I'll check it out.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go. Let's see. For the Emperor coming in with $1. If you were making a second barrel to copy to plant by where, you can tell when a barrel was made in a batch by how worn down the tooling marks are, like a fingerprint.
Oh,
correct.
Okay.
Well, yeah, because when you buy a national match or precision rifles, they're usually the barrel is 1, 2, or 3 on the cutting tool, and then after that it goes to standard. Because the newer the tool is, the sharper the lands and grooves, and the more precision you get. How do I know these things?
I don't know. You want to see how much I know about all that? Carry on.
Carry on. Sorry.
See, Single for Life coming back in. He says, "I know 7 people who self-deleted."
Yeah, unfortunately, that's it's starting to happen more and more.
Yep. Alucard stating the obvious here, saying, "I bet the guards were paid off."
No.
You would do something.
And I'm sure they'll die of heart attacks here shortly too,
if they're not already dead.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure they're probably already pushing up daisies. We just haven't heard about it. Alucard coming back in. If Madam H's body kill count is that high, imagine the other body count. Think about it.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
Who in the hell from Tunnel Hill, Georgia, is calling me right now?
I have
Somebody
no idea.
from Tunnel Hill, Georgia.
Well, tell them just finish what you're doing.
Yeah, fuck them.
They can wait.
If they don't leave me a message, it wasn't important. Pixels G-Tau, $5. Pop, did you have an Atari back in the day?
I did. Atari 400.
Nice.
I had 48K. I had the whole deal.
Never
Love
had
that
it.
thing.
Yeah.
It is
I
what it
love
is.
the old school gaming consoles. Not so much the games, because Battletoads and The Lion King and Aladdin for the Super Nintendo, those games were brutal. Yeah. But then again, I was an 8-year-old kid, so I didn't know.
There you go.
Alucard coming back. His ESP is telling me that every incident that involves the Fed boys are connected.
You're probably correct.
Probably.
The chances of that not being true are slim.
Correct.
Yeah. Mando coming back. Fastest way to meet your maker without it being a suicide? Work for the Clintons.
Well, if you look at the numbers, you're probably not wrong.
You might end up a suicide anyway.
Yeah. It could be natural causes, but you lose your head.
Sure.
But I mean, bleeding out is a natural cause.
Come on, natural decapitations happen all the time.
Yeah, all the time.
Yeah.
Let's see. Digital Dude coming back. The Marines have a training book about not dating strippers. Does Army have anything similar? Because an ass clown from a superior office like you, Pop.
No, of course we don't have anything like that. That's ridiculous.
I actually saw that post and I thought it was a meme, but I'm like, oh, apparently it's confirmed now.
It was well known in my MOS that one of the first sergeants had married his favorite stripper from the Ville in Korea.
Big mistake.
No, they're still together.
Really?
To this day, they've got like 6 kids
Okay.
and a bunch of grandkids.
So
Somehow it worked. It was that 1 in a million.
So he was a passport bro before a passport bro was a thing.
Yeah, well, unfortunately, there's a lot of guys who go overseas and marry local trim. It just happens.
Yeah, Yep.
See, we got K-Note 72. Anyone remember the Boeing whistleblower? Wonder if the Clintons had Boeing stock.
Hey, we should look into that.
Yeah.
It wouldn't surprise me, but yeah, it's kind of funny how that story fucking just up and disappeared.
What's this headline here? Boeing whistleblower found dead. News at 11.
Yep.
Carry on.
Yep. And Mando coming back again. If you are decapitated, it is only natural that you will cease to live.
Yeah.
That's fair.
Sounds fair.
Well, like we just mentioned, he would know he is the medic man.
Yeah.
So you got Vincent Van Gogh, fuck yourself. I can love that screen name. $5. There's a video game series called Hitman where you kill famous and powerful people and try not to get noticed. I can envision Clinton kills in ways you can perform in the game.
Again, it might be a case of the guys at EA going, hey, let's make this video game about the Clinton family. We should change that name, though.
Yes.
I don't think we have the technology of a heat-seeking briefcase that kills you in one hit, though.
No, we don't.
Because that actually is a weapon you can use in Hitman, and it's hilarious. Digital Dew coming in. They took 40 tubes of blood today for blood tests. I didn't think it was going to stop printing today. What the fuck?
They took what?
That's a lot of blood.
40 tubes of blood.
Why do they need 40 tubes?
I have no idea.
I've never seen that before. I've had 5.
The most I've ever had was 11. And that's when I had 104 fever and I was in the hospital in the Army for 2 days.
Nice.
Yeah.
And then Mando coming in. One of his classic Mando jokes. The Clintons have a lot of orbiters hanging around.
That was a good one. That was a good one.
I give that a 7 out of 10.
That's classic.
See, Tomahawk, Battle Dwarf. You plan to start keeping beers. Are you familiar with the llary hive?
I saw that go by earlier. We have just purchased 3 hives of bees. I have a friend who's got a vineyard. She's allowing us to use her property because bees and wine vines go well together.
Yes,
along with her lavender field that she's planting.
Ooh.
So whatever hives she has available on her property, she's got a bunch of extra ones, is where our bees will dwell. But I will look into the llary hives and see what that is about.
Yep.
Thanks.
And I also heard that the lavender honey, or the honey made from bees that mainly focus on lavender, that's probably one of the best ones out there.
She has an apple orchard as well.
Yes.
Oh,
give me some good mead, man. My mouth is already watering at the sumptuous taste of liquid sunshine called mead.
I'm about to drop another barrel o' mead as well.
It's so tasty.
Nice. And he finishes off with, I'm using one and my bees are kicking ass.
Nice.
All right.
Nice. Okay. Llary hives, WARRE. I'll look into those.
Yep. International House of Whoop Ass comes in. You guys better have some type of extra security, like traps on windows and doors. We all know how things happen to people that talk about Mrs. Rotten.
Listen, we're just covering a news thing here, and I'm literally comparing it to odds and statistics. I don't have any information other than what's in the public sphere.
Yeah.
There you go.
Whatever.
Not anymore.
Yeah.
All righty. That looks like that covers up Rumble chats there. We'll jump over to MGTOW.tv, the best chat on the internet. What's going on over there?
Titties.
Titties. Yeah, there's a little bit of leg. There's that's good stuff. Good stuff. Looks like we only got one over there from Crazy Uncle for $20. It says, I don't have a chat due to probably being many levels of asleep before you guys get to the chats, but like Pop says, $20 is $20. He's not judging, but actually, yes, he is.
Come on now.
Also, want to let you know that the MGTOW streams from last week only have the first 20 minutes. Something to look into, as many of us like to listen to what we missed later.
All right, we'll have to work on that.
I will. I'll take a look into that one.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
See what the hell happened there, because it just recently came back to. I can actually upload it myself. I don't have to wait.
The thing with the MGTOW TV, that's all custom code, so it's buggy, and it is what it is.
Yep. I'll just click back to the Rumble chat. Mando coming back with another kicker. Whatever happened to Huma's ex? I heard he was a real wiener.
Yeah.
What are you gonna do?
All right, let's see. We'll jump over to Odyssey. We got 3 over there. Let's see. Agent of Social Media Chaos says YouTube is run by the killer blue-haired ass clowns from outer space.
Yeah, it's true story.
Well, I'm not going to say you're wrong, but
yeah,
I would say they're a bunch of ass clowns.
Yeah.
Yep. And Caleb on, my family in the South said the only Oh, excuse me. The only way they could get the Clinton out of the governor position was to get him to become president.
Oh, the Peter principle: promote him to the highest level of his ineptitude.
Correct.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. And well, gee, I wonder who this is. Big Mike's raging rectum wrecking purple-headed prostate puncher. Hi, Jackal.
Oh my God!
I have no idea where he comes up with these names, but fucking
Oh
keep
my
them coming,
Lord.
bro. That's funny as shit.
Wow.
You don't mess with the machine. You don't mess with machining a matching barrel. All you do is mess with the paperwork, like we did with Barry's quote unquote Hawaiian birth certificate.
Oh yeah, okay,
Yeah.
I'm still unemployed in Joe's built back better economy, and I can't donate any fiat currency until I can sell meth dicks and bottom surgeries to the lefties.
I wish you the best of luck, my friend.
Yeah, listen, man.
Have-
You do what you got to do, bro. It's all good.
Do what you got to do. Oh, yeah, that's disturbing, man.
It's disturbing, but I get
Let's
it.
see.
Times are tough.
Got a couple more on Rumble.
Oh, we do. Let's see here. Jump over here. Digital do with the first one. Bloodletting at meat with liver transplant team.
All right, good.
Okay. Oh, meeting with liver transplant team. God damn it.
I hope it works, bro.
Yeah.
This is like your last deal.
Yep. Ooh, fan I am with $3. I got some CBD honey. Crops of hemp next to the hives, so it's infused with CBD. Very healthy.
Yeah, there is a lot of that around here as well. I've got a small jar of that at the house, actually.
Well, I was thinking, well, maybe some CBD mead.
No,
but I don't think that would work. I didn't think so.
If you want CBD mead, you're going to have to make it yourself. I am a weird purist about certain things.
Yeah.
And
no, I was just thinking if that was even possible to make mead CBD with
I am
CBD
sure
honey.
I'm sure that it would be possible. They're single for life just threw $1 at us. Steve, have you heard of flow hives? I have not.
Yes, they're the ones that you basically hit a switch and you don't have to pull the panels out. It just drains the honey.
Crazy.
Then you just put it
I
back.
might look into those. Tracy would like that.
Nice. There you go. See, looks like Alex Patino donated 300 lemons or 1 diamond over on D-Live. He was wanting more new tech butts. Sorry, man. Can't do it over here, but it's all good. All right, let's see here. Let me check. I did see we had a couple of cash apps here. We got $5 from Douglas. No comment. Thank you very much. Very good, sir.
Thank you very much.
Let's see here. Where was that? There we go. We got $5 from Paul. It says for Mena AR connects Governor Clinton to CIA Director H.W. Bush.
Yep.
That wouldn't surprise me.
That wouldn't surprise me at all.
Yep. All right. Let's see here. And looks like $20 from Wesley. He says, thank you and the crew for the nuts to do this.
It doesn't really require a lot of... We're just talking about open source information.
Do these things.
Yep.
Sorry. Yeah.
Why did the camera jump over to you just now?
I don't know. It haunted.
We just talked about Hillary Clinton. Why is that happening?
Haunted.
Under very uncomfortable circumstances.
Haunted.
That was very weird.
Listen, weird things happen in this house. It's haunted. What are you going to do?
All right, let's see here. Let me double check here. Jump through the chats. Up, got fan I am coming through again. What about making some honey beer?
I have, and it is called Bragat, Bragat, and actually, it is fantastic. So I should make some honey beer. Actually,
I'd like to try that.
Yeah, it's a honey wheat beer. You make a wheat beer with honey as the sugar. That
you had me at beer.
I'll do it. Okay.
All right.
Yep. I was just already say you had me a beer.
Bragat.
Yep. But that looks like that covers up all of the Cash Apps here. And I'm just double checking, make sure we're not missing anyone else over on all the other chats. But it looks like we are all caught up.
All right, good. So
it's going to be a tad early for us tonight, gents.
that's just by 5
Single
minutes.
for life, $1. It was nice to know you guys. Don't say things like that.
And please don't say things
See
like
you
that.
next week.
Yeah, don't do that. And we're waiting on 2 more emails to bump the score up. So hopefully we'll get to 547 here shortly.
Okay. Wow.
Winning.
But I need the emails. I'm not issuing numbers anymore unless I get a description.
Yeah.
Because people are going to start saying I'm lying and shit. I'm not playing those games.
We got to have the receipts, man.
Yeah. Because it's a pretty serious
Nothing
thing.
personal. We need the receipts.
You just send us an email. If you want to leave your name out of it, that's fine. It is what it is. But we want to keep it in a file just in case we get called to the carpet. We go, hey, look, this is the file right here.
Pop's the only one doing this, by the way. None of the other veterans organizations who help with veterans suicide can turn around and put their hand on 545 lives.
That's right.
I don't know of any other organization that can do that.
Correct. And I think the reason I'm able to do it is I'm a 1-man, 2-man team, 3 guys. And, I've had my finger on the pulse of this thing since the beginning.
Yeah.
Because when we first started, it was, basically Steve and I running Second Class Citizen. And we did the Purple Heart's Final Beat suicide video. And I was literally getting people left and right sending me emails like, hey, man, that saved my life. I was going down a bad road, man.
Yeah.
And by that came out at the end of 2008. By about halfway through 2011, we were up to about 120-ish. And I started issuing numbers to people in the low 60s. And every now and again, we have number 62 and 67 show up in the comments.
Yeah.
So it is what it is. And yeah, Steve is correct. In fact, I think I'm like the only semi-comedian on the planet who's fighting the suicide scourge on a regular basis.
Yeah, that I know of. We need to do a show on Second Class Citizens circa 2017 when we did all of that research. We need to pull that up and show people
all the suicide shit?
What all of this is about.
Yeah, because this whole first of all, the whole scourge we're fighting against is fueled by raw evil, and there's no other way to describe it. Because if you warp an institution to the point where it weaponizes love and hope against you, there is no other description, in heaven and earth to explain that other than raw black evil.
Yeah.
Straight up.
Absolutely true.
And we live in a country where, we're supposed to be free and live under the Constitution, but the family courts have ignored the Constitution since the beginning. In fact, tax court was set up because the regular courts were getting too full, and tax court ignores the Constitution as well.
Yeah.
And it's called mission creep. I've seen it in the military. It started off in tax court. Then they started up family court. And guess what? They decided, we can just step all over these people's rights and turn them into wage slaves, which they did for half a century now. And is anyone shocked that same attitude is now spilling out into the general public now? Yeah. I am not shocked at all.
Yeah, it's a form of poison.
Yeah, literally, we have the forces. Listen, I'm not a God guy. I'm not here to sell you God, but the forces of darkness are fucking alive and well, and they are racking up the numbers. They are literally putting people in the dirt faster than they're technically being born, in my opinion. Between war, disease, and suicide, what have you. And I'm like the only guy on the planet who sees it going, hey, this is fucked up. This is fucked up. We need to fix it. I'm the only guy. I'm literally in a knife fight in a back alley with one of the primal forces of the universe, which we call destruction. And you would call it death. It's fucking insane. It's just crazy. All right, I'm sorry, I went on too much of a rant there.
Philosophical rabbit hole.
Yeah,
There you go.
Yeah.
But I did see one more chat come in from Alucard.
Who's going to
And he
punch it up
says,
a little?
Pop, I have something to say. Pelosi. Ugh.
I hate that woman.
Sick
Hate that
bastards.
woman. All right, we good on super chats? Ready for a safety briefing?
Let's see. Let me do one more quick run through. But it does seem like we are all good to go. So, Pop, we need ourselves safety briefing.
All right, everybody. Don't drink and drive. Don't drink and swim. It's not going to work out. If you must fornicate, wear a condom. Take it with you when you leave, or flush it down the toilet and watch it go all the way down, because fun and games can happen. All right. If you need to get into some type of altercation, do everything in your power to run away first. If you can't, you must engage in fisticuffs. Do not go to the ground, because that's where you get stomped out. Rack up, pack up, and stack up. Travel in groups. Maintain your situational awareness, because if somebody is going to attack you, something in your environment is different, and it's up to you to see it, because it will save your life. There you go.
Damn right. Alrighty. Battle Dwarf.
And
Anything further to add?
No, he's good.
NSTR.
Roger that. Alrighty, gents. Well, we will see you guys Thursday for Thought Thursday. Some fucked up, funny shit. I'm pretty sure Blake's got a lot in mind for that.
Yeah, he does.
Yep. And he did inform me about the new Riding Roast coming up, and holy shit. You guys are in for a treat with that one.
Yeah.
Ugh.
I got you. All right, gentlemen, you take it easy.
See you later.
I can't do it!